Hey, welcome back to Of the Devil. Cheesy here. Where we last left off, we had a deal and it turned out great. We killed everyone. And I guess we'll continue from here. Alright. Barely got 3 centimeters into his neck. Must have hit a vertebrae and stopped dead. Still got the job done after a few whacks, but, well, it was my first time with a sword. This is probably bad. I think that sword belongs to the Ikariya group, or Ikariya, or whatever the guy's name is. The guy who's currently kidnapped. And I've never been very good at anything the first time. I've always needed lots of practice. Okay, the music should have deadened the sound of the gunfire. And that gun was heavily modified. If it somehow still has its tags, they can't possibly be functioning properly. So I've got a window of opportunity. First things first, gloves back on. Yeah, shit. Wow, someone's lively. Who the hell? Some kind of mod keeping him alive. A cruelty. Under his circumstances, I could hear that slug tear his intestines apart. The pain alone would have knocked him out cold, yet his fingers are limp, his eyes sharp. Paralyzed. There are rules, I thought. Blood's pooling fast. You've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes for what? Everything. You're no meg assassin. You're too talkative. Who sent you? Fox? Gray Lady? All that red should have... You the Rust's newest rabid dog? Caribou? It's cute how you all give each other nicknames. You're... civilian? Where's the mask? What? Go to hell. You just looked right at the desk drawer. I thought you said you played poker. Need your keys. A civilian thief? Theft is victimless. It's robbery when violence is involved. So you're just out of your goddamn mind. I'm the last person you'll ever talk to, Creek. Your choice. But do you really want to be rude? You seem like you can take it. The key clicks into the small safe and I pull upon the door to reveal paperwork. Page after page of spreadsheets and diagrams, text all printed in red. Is this important? Ha, so considerate. Nah, just throw it anywhere. Okay. I was joking. 3 minutes now. Sarcasm will cost you time you don't have. There it is, a gleaming darkness in the back of the safe. So that's it. You, all this, all of us. For that? Just for that? I get asked that question a lot. Yeah. Would you feel better if I had killed you for a different reason? If I had a good reason for blowing a hole in your stomach, would it have hurt any less? You've still got more than 2 minutes. Plenty of time. I could spin up whatever fairy tale you'd like to put you to bed. I bring the mask to my face, and for a brief moment, the surface seems to writhe. Is it trying to adjust itself to me? Suppose it makes sense, you wanting a mask so bad. If I was as hideous as you on the inside, I wouldn't want to go barefaced either. Hit a nerve? Must be the worst kind of feeling, being seen. Seen by someone you can't even hurt anymore. Well, I see you. Heartbreak. Yeah, big bad, faceless heartbreak. I'm just a dumbass punk, but even I could make you out from. Don't flatter yourself. It's not that you're particularly perceptive. I just don't have anything to hide when a corpse is talking. First honest thing you've said. So what gives, HBK? You're clearly not an idealist. All the terrorism, rebellion theories out the window. You go around killing 'cause your daddy smack you around? Your mommy not hug you enough? My father never laid a hand on me. My mother hugged me. a sufficient amount. So what the hell's your excuse? I don't make excuses. Then what the hell is wrong with you? Less than a minute now. I could spend that time making up a diagnosis if you'd like. Or would you prefer I come right over there and squeeze? How? How many? Another question straight out of the greatest hits. How can I put this? How many times have you eaten bread? Never. I've got a gluten thing, bitch. Whatever. Point is, I'm not a collector. This is not my hobby. I do not keep count. There is no code. I do what I want as often as I want to. Do what thou wilt. Whole of the law. Is that it? Do you know what you're referencing? But from where you're sitting, do I really look like the law-abiding type? I bring the mask back down to my face again. Its surface seems to shudder. Forget it. At least I know. You deserve what's coming. I've heard a lot of empty threats in people's last moments, Creek. They're never that memorable. Told you that mask with his death sentence, that it was spoken for. They called in a huntsman from overseas, home turf. Huntsmen can become anyone, go anywhere, kill anything. I suppose supposed to come over and slaughter the rest. That mask was part of his payment. He'll be looking for it. Possession is 9/10 of the law. The hell's that supposed to mean? Finders keepers. Forget it. I don't need to scare you. Huntsman, hunter. Too much meaning. Lost. Always thought better translation was pelt taker. He'll find you, flay you alive, wear your skin, and go around and murder everyone. What a face. Should have taken you up on tipping out early. Anything beat dying staring at a face like that. Yeah, man, you lost. You know, you can't really threaten someone as you bleed out. It's a desperate attempt. I mean, it works on people who are prideful and weak, but when you don't have any of that stuff kind of holding you back, you're just making empty threats. So, a huntsman coming to get me. Nah, the dead and the dying make for strong bluffers. I've seen more than a few of them tried their hand at improv. Time to move. I need to scuff things up a bit more. Make this look like more of an orca shootout then. Well, a visit from me. It's going great. Ah, I need the thing back. Oh, I can't even look there. Well, weapons are inherently disposable. I can kill with anything. So I'd never bother to retrieve one from a dead man's grip, but... Oof. I might have a need for a knife again, shortly. So I'll be taking this back, Miller. I had to pry. Why is it the dead are always grasping? Very fun. Damn, he like lost his hand. Cover tracks. The sword was not worth the effort. Lesson learned, but now I have to remove it from this next part. His eyes. Can't tell if it's a model from the outside, but I can make a strong educated guess at the price range. If they back up any data, can't be more often than once an hour. It'll be 10 o'clock soon. I'm gonna need something with heft to it. Skull. See no evil. Smart. Well, the bat's definitely spent, but his eyes are no longer a problem. And the sword is fine where it is. Not gonna tempt fate and risk nicking myself with it. It's all the burning issues addressed. Time to take care of the chores. I had to remove my gloves to convince them I could use the dark card. That means I handled all the murder weapons with my bare hands. That's what I was thinking. Obviously, I need to wipe my prints off this gun and my knife, but I put my gloves on before opening Creek's safe and cracking Trey's skull. So what does that leave? Remember everything Morgan handled? Oh, geez. Better try. Police don't miss fingerprints. If you're sure you got everything, you're good to move on. Right? Focus. No mistakes. First of all, the sword. The sword, I gripped the handle with both hands when I brought it down on his neck. Thinking back, I dragged the tip across the floor, didn't I? Shit, probably got Miller's blood on it. That's sloppy. That was stupid. Why the hell did I? No, forget it. There's nothing to do about it anyway. Fingerprints can be wiped, but there's no cleaning agent on Earth that can hide blood from a modern forensics team. And I'm not looking to do an encore performance of my reaction to those goddamn fickle bobbies. Who was it? The card. No, I already... Where's the gun? Or do I still have it? Oh, I still have the gun. What did I do? Problem is that I recorded this the other day. Let me try to think about that a little. Maybe I can find it in my... Wait, backlog? How far back can I go? Blah, 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 blah. Oh. Well, let's see. Is that it? Is that all we got here? We got advanced. Got this, got that. Card. I guess I just need to return shit. Okay, well anyways, I guess I'll just return stuff. Here, have some keys. Right, the keys I took off them to open the safe. The Blue Bloods are gonna find out I took the mask eventually, but I see no reason to give them any hints. And on the off chance the police get here first, I'd rather they not investigate this as a robbery. All that to say, you can have these back, Creek. Yeah. What else is there? The remote. Oh, turn on the TV. This is the remote I used to distract the big guy. I need to wipe my prints off it, of course. But should I turn the music back off? No, it was playing when I first walked in. Best to preserve continuity. And besides, what was it he said? We like it loud. Screws with the bugs. He was right about that much. A little smoke screen never hurts. The card. Yeah. The dark card plays its role as bait perfectly, even if it's the reason I'm having to go around wiping off prints. I'll never be able to pull funds off it, but I might be able to use it again if... it's stuck. Creek must have dropped it harder than I realized. Getting shot in the stomach doesn't help with handling delicate electronics. No way I'm gonna risk taking the whole reader with me. Could have any number of pings and strings leading back to the manufacturer, or even the Blue Bloods themselves. No, I'll wipe the dark card off and set the whole reader back on the desk. For anyone knows, Creek's pod mugged it off some slummer, and we're trying in vain to get a beer money off of it. That sounds about right. I don't think I did anything else, did I? No. Because, like, I already wiped off the sword. I don't think there's... Oh. That scared the crap out of me. Yeah, alright. I guess really not much we can do here. The bat? No. Guess there's nothing else. Not that smoking cigarette. Fuck that guy. I was wondering if doing extra stuff would cause me to be in trouble, but I guess not. Alright. Worth checking out. I can't exactly spend all night on this. Am I good here? Just think again. What else is there? Is there more? I supposed to do this? Whatever. Yeah, let's call it here. Yeah, okay, this feels like the scene's been set. It's a strange sensation, erasing your own presence. Sense of supremely private accomplishment. Like placing the last piece into a milk-white jigsaw puzzle, and then throwing it in the trash. It's not unpleasant, but I can't linger here any longer to savor it. Time to draw this to a close. Oh. Thank God for the mask. I can still tell it smells god-awful in here, but it's bearable. Rehydrated sweat and vomit, scents full of adrenaline and sickly heat. Unfiltered. I'd be at risk of getting sick if it weren't for all the blood. Right. What to do with you? Blindfolded, gagged, hands bound above him with plastic ties and linen wrappings, beaten bloody and drugged, these syringes. They wanted him to stay conscious. Not very popular, are you? Still, you're not dead. And with these kinds of injuries, you won't die soon. Not without a push. That might be the most charitable thing to do under these circumstances. You must have wished for death at least once during all this torture. Too bad. The bat and the barred door is now in splinters. Anyone walking in after me won't realize that this room was locked from the outside. If this captive had somehow gotten his hands on a blade, there'd be nothing stopping him from stepping out of here and butchering his captors. The Blue Bloods will want someone to blame for the deaths of 4 of their men. And unlike the police, they won't bother arresting an innocent man and putting him up on trial for the world to see. They'll wrap things up for me. Oof. Hold that for me. As for the gun... What's with the... All I did was tuck a gun into your waistband, pal. Oh. Okay, I can see how that would be distressing under the circumstances. Well, you can relax about that. It's not loaded. A few minutes from now, you're gonna wish it was. Out again already. Rest up while you can. When you wake up, you'll want to start running. Ooh. How nice of us. 3:35 p.m. August 14th. What a great time. Like I practiced. IRASSHAI. Why are we saying Japanese stuff? Pardon? Diamani. Keep working on it, kid. Bar Kintsugi. Didn't mean to interrupt you in the middle of training your new employee. How's it working out? Bah, It is she, right? Never worked this close with an ADD before. She is unbearably forgiving, so I doubt you'll get sued. She's fine. She's good at cleaning, precise with her mixing, knows a hell lot of trivia. Popular with the younger crowd, I think. This is the place with the android bartender? They talk like I installed a new karaoke machine. I didn't know you had a younger crowd. Funny. What's that make you, Grandma? More of a learning curve to her than I was expecting. Did you cheap out on her bass installs? It's like I have to teach her everything. Trust me, there's nothing cheap about Sarah. But yes, she can take a minute when learning the ropes. Grin and bear it a little while longer. Once she does find her footing, she'll have you worried about your job security in no time. Keep it up. I didn't have to do you a favor of hiring her, you know. Favor? Plenty of people out there who would kill to work at an up-and-coming, bespoke establishment like Bar Kintsugi. I think I hear them pounding on the door now. Technically, legally, you didn't hire anyone. I generously agreed to loan you my android during the hours when I have no use for it. These kinds of arrangements aren't uncommon. Androids can, in theory, work 24 hours a day, indefinitely. But their users can't. Parents come home from work, people go to sleep, staff take holidays, offices close for the night. The end result of all that slack is a lot of androids spend a good portion of their operating time waiting around. So the more enterprising owners loan them out during that downtime, ideally to businesses with complementary working hours. There are plenty of apps and HR software to help arrange it all, but Sarah's apprenticeship wasn't that on the books. After the fallout around David's death settled down, I came to realize exactly how shortchanged I was in our paralegal agreement. She's handy for research and wrote for work, of course, but she barely sleeps, rarely eats, finishes paperwork at lightning speed. I was spending more time finding shit to keep her busy than I was actually working. And of course, I value my alone time. It was one of those long walks of mine that I recalled Reinhardt was having trouble getting this bar up and running. Takes a village to keep the world's most advanced android busy. Yeah, alone, whatever. Sarah's the one who clocks in and clocks out, does the work, cleans the bathrooms. She's the employee. If she was an employee, you'd have to cover her benefits. Not in my current income bracket. I checked 3 times. Wait, you're not taking her paycheck, are you? It's not a paycheck. Don't lawyer me on this shit. Sarah can't earn a paycheck. She is not a person. If she walks like a person and talks like a person and works like a person, the Supreme Court disagrees by 13-0. Yeah, well, Supreme Courts have been wrong about that kind of thing before, haven't they? I like Diamani. Do I hear a touche? Sarah, tell boss here what you spend your salary on. I have started purchasing cases of wine. What? Wait, that's what those deliveries were? As the wine appreciates, its resale value will increase, especially if I can predict which vintages will be in high demand. Since I don't have a bank account, I can't earn interest in the traditional sense, but if I stay up to date on the sommelier reviews. So you'll resell the wine at a profit, and what'll you do with that money? Stop it. You're making her depressed. Poor girl. Let's see, Sarah. Oh, Sarah, I have your little keychain here. Blood, UAD. I don't know what that means. She's 160. She's 200 kilograms. August 29th. Paralegal, apprentice. Like Splitfield, Diopter, Wing Chun. She likes kung fu movies, I assume. Folding clothes. Mops. Fire alarms. Variety packs. She doesn't like variety packs. Useless talent. I can do a full split, but that is not useless. You know, it might not be. Favorite quote. As you think, so shall you become. Confession. I tried to use Adonai's makeup and broke a lipstick. Amazing. It's our boy, Reinhardt Boss Diamani. He's the owner-operator at Kintsugi. He's a blood type A, positive. He's not as heavy as Sarah. He likes libraries, boating, and fast learners. Dislikes marketing, solicitors, signing things. Collects ancient coins. I love that for you, dude. Pet peeve, web pages that take too long to load. Don't mention speed at which Kintsugi site loads. It's great. I like her hair like that. Looking good, girl. I did also purchase a cache of sheet music. What? What for? Practice. You're muttering. Forget it. None of my business. Speaking of business, this place isn't exactly packed. Well, are you volunteering to help with that? There are lawyer bars, right? Right? Where all the lawyers go after trials? Kintsugi could be a lawyer bar. Yeah, those lawyer bars are usually close to the courthouse, though. Don't. Just don't. Everything's signed and paid, and I can't think about what ifs on location anymore. This is the spot that was available, and I need a soda water with all this stress on my stomach. Sarah, tend bar. Ahem. What are you buying, stranger? What was that? Boss has been teaching me his barside manner. He says that this clientele expect a certain degree of maturity when they come here. So you're using a deeper voice? Is it not working? Please let me know when you're ready to order. She's so sad. Poor girl. Let's see. I'm gonna peruse. It's a well-stocked bar. Got tea and coffee too, if that's what you're into. Nice ambience, soft lighting, warm on a chill night and cool on a hot day. Now all that's left to do is wait for the customers to stream in. Any day now. Loving the music. Cat. It's a lucky cat. Yeah. Did you just say something, Adonai? No. I suddenly got a strong impression that there was something you wanted to say. Don't know what you're talking about. As you say, we were about to nya the cat. Is there no... I always thought there would be like... maybe something to read? Guess not. Ryan must have searched for months to find affordable underground real estate that wasn't flooded. Or at least filled to the brim with server farms. Putting Sarah on cleaning duty was a good call. If any of the tiling in here starts to grime up, could start feeling like a subway station bathroom real fast. Oh, there it is. Why couldn't I find it before? Did someone leave this behind after the lunch break? Maybe. It'd be trouble if they left anything work-related in here. I'll help them out by throwing it in the trash after I'm done reading. Sirius debuts new fuel named in new lawsuit. Last month, Dr. Sirius made waves in the scientific community for the dozenth time in their storied career when they announced that they had patented the process for distilling a new helium-based fuel, one intended to replace hydrogen in combustion engines ranging from personal vehicles to full-sized freighters. Only a few days later, they made headlines again when that patent was leaked to the global net. Now Proteca, an investment firm and longtime financial backer of Dr. Sirius, has filed a lawsuit alleging not only that Dr. Sirius failed in their responsibilities to protect their investment, but actually allowed the leak to occur. We sat down with Dr. Sirius to ask them to respond to the suit's allegations and to question them about their recurring legal woes. For those who may not be familiar, what makes your process for distilling helium fuel so valuable? In this world, if you're not plugged into an outlet, you're running on a battery and you're burning fuel. Batteries are useful, but they scale poorly. A battery-powered phone is light enough to be weightless in your pocket. A battery-powered plane could generate enough lift to get off the ground. Now, aside from a number of closely guarded national reserves, there are no fossil fuels left. The wells were pumped dry years ago, so after we were forced to adapt in a rather abrupt period of growing pains, hydrogen has become the global standard for fueling long-distance machinery. Therein lies the problem. The plane I took to get here runs on hydrogen. It produces nothing but water vapor. What's the problem? The problem is that the laborers fueling your plane before it took off had their fingers crossed the entire time, afraid that if the absolute grounding field failed, one static spark could blow up the whole airport. What makes helium superior? The helium-2 fuel we've developed is not pure helium, to be clear, but near enough. Unlike hydrogen fuels, what we've created is a non-combustible. You could fire a flamethrower over a tank of it and remain perfectly safe. How does a non-combustible fuel power combustion engines? He2 is non-combustible, but in the presence of our specialized catalyst, it can be ignited to generate force comparable to, or in some tests, superior to horsepower exhibited by hydrogen engines. What's the catch? So far, it's expensive to distill, and the catalyst materials are even more expensive to produce. We have yet to even simulate a profitable commercial flight, for instance. That's a pretty serious catch. Steel wasn't profitable before the Bessemer process. Things panned out for the steel tycoons just fine. Are you hoping for someone else to do that, improve upon your process? I know you're going with this, but the answer is yes, of course. I'd be overjoyed for someone to improve upon what we've built. That's essentially what Proteca has accused you of doing, isn't it? Leaking your data intentionally so that others around the world are free to start experimenting with it? I don't think it's legally wise of me to try to summarize Proteca's lawsuit against me in my laboratory. Listen, energy is limitless. It cannot be expended. By that virtue, there cannot be a scarcity of it. You will never have a monopoly of it, and since it is infinite, the correct market price for it will, over a long enough time scale, trend to zero. I don't think I'm being cynical when I say there are people who don't like that very basic math. I'm going to stop you there because you're getting into our next topic, your politics. Do you consider yourself a political person? No. Are you, or have you ever been a party of the Communist Party? No. Do you believe science should be apolitical? Yes. So why is it that you are so frequently invoked as an example of liberal bias in the sciences? Science is not political. Science is progress, moving forward, learning about our universe, deepening our understanding of its mechanics. And that process will never be conservative. Science doesn't move backwards. Calling all conservatives backwards is not what I said, but you're free to interpret it as you like. What's not open to debate is this: what makes something science has nothing to do with who works on it. It has nothing to do with class, or power, or money, or even majority rule. Science is reproducible. No miracles required. Miracles are prohibited. If one person can do it, anyone can do it. And so science is inherently egalitarian. If someone feels that because of that, science has a bias against them, that speaks only to their own politics, and not the failings of the scientific community too. Log into your Review Plus account with your passkey or net provider to finish reading this article to see so much more. I guess science, I agree with this headspace. Obviously, terrible people have used science and pushed science forward faster, doing terrible things. But you can't blame science itself. For a pop sci figure, Sirius sure keeps busy. Guess I don't have any evidence proving they aren't legitimately brilliant. But I can take seriously anyone who guest stars on TV that much. Can't deny that they seem to be making progress with new kinds of renewable energy. Yeah, because it's like place hydrogen, right? Personal. A few days later, they made headlines again that it was leaked. They're just trying to create renewable energy. More resources of renewable energy, yay! Could have solved that issue centuries ago if we kept boiling water with uranium, but I guess that's why it's a bigger deal that Sirius is developing new fuels. Please don't throw that data pad out. Its owner might come back. Perish the thought. Though now that you planted the idea into my head, a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, I guess I didn't get any chips for that. I don't know. I don't really understand what it means to make another fuel. It's pretty vague. I think I'm ready to order. Of course. Nah, I'll take this, Sarah. Go wipe the tables for a bit. No one has sat at them since I last cleaned them. Then pretend to clean them like a normal employee. Understood. What's got you so tense? Take a wild guess. Did Sarah ask for a raise? Be serious, Red. What happened last night? Your information was accurate for the most part. A pod of mid-level blue bloods had it. Seems like they were told to sit on it. And they were willing to sell? Nope. Laughed at my price, called me a spoiled Meg, and kicked my butt out the door. They weren't curious where you got your information from? Honestly, no. They rushed me out of there pretty fast once they heard my offer. Were they expecting more company? I got the impression they had work to get back to. Okay. Anything else I should know? No. Anything you want to ask me? How did you two meet? The tables. On my second day, you told me not to over-polish them in order to keep things lo-fi. Is it that inappropriate of a question? You've lived in the city for decades, boss, but Adonai didn't move here until she started her apprenticeship at Masters and M. If you're gonna tell people my whole life story at every possible opportunity, I'll just shred my resume and start mailing you around instead. How we met, huh? Well, that story's not very good. I'll skip to the end and cut to the heart of our relationship, Sarah. I pay Reinhardt a finder's fee, and he tells me where I can get into high-stakes poker games. It's not a lie. Now you know my terrible secret. Disappointed. It's not illegal to gamble. I don't go on my phone and wager my paycheck stubs on point spreads. I gamble. And since I can't afford the entrance fees for one of those anonymous masked ball, cult vibe blimp casinos that the rich go to, I count on your boss here to find me tables to play at. Guilty. So you travel to the lower wards to gamble illegally. Truth be told, I've had my suspicions. Seeing you go out at such odd hours without so much as your phone. You gonna turn me in? IRASSHAI. Or is it more firm? IRASSHAI? Two firm-looking men in finely pressed black suits with shades tinted so dark they must need modded eyes to see from behind them. Despite the subtle color palette, they stand out. It's not hard not to in clothes that look that expensive. Clothes with some kind of pin on them. Matching pins. Suit noir. More emphasis on the ra. Oh, thank you. It's true. IRASSHAI. I think I just heard the delivery drones bumping around outside, Sarah. Would you check out the back? Your vintages might arrive. Go on. Please excuse me then. Afternoon then, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Mr. Diamani, pardon us for dropping in without first making an appointment. No trouble at all. Still getting the place cleaned up. I'm awfully embarrassed that I failed to realize the property lay within your borders. If you'd come with me to the back, I'd be happy to settle whatever debt. We look like petty landlords to you. If you owed us tribute, you'd know it by now. My mistake. Well, if you're here for information, I'll gladly wheel and deal. How about you? We're not here to shop either. We're here looking for Morgan. Well, that name ring any bells, Mr. Diamani? Right. Listen, boys, I'm not sure. Sorry. That's something blaring in my earbud. I'm a Morgan, Esquire, specifically. How can I be of service? I mostly practice criminal defense, but I do offer a few other services. You two look corporate. I can recommend some good workplace attorneys. I've got a business card. Somewhere. We're not interested in that. Of course not. Well, I'm flattered you'd come all the way here to find me. You must have already tried the home office. We can set something up for. You need to come with us now, ma'am. Hey, thought you said there was nothing I needed to know. Business day's over for me, gentlemen. Can this matter wait until tomorrow? Does it look like it can? Great manners, this one. Time sensitive, then. My rate will have to reflect that. Send us the bill. We can afford it. Music to my lawyer ears. So, who is we, then? You think you're funny? Compared to you? Morgan. These fine gentlemen are from House Ikariya. Ooh. On occasion, information you went out of your way to collect in previous episodes would unlock new dialogues. I remember learning about the Ikariya. It pays to stay informed. I'm familiar. You are? I've seen their name in the papers. Plastering their name all over uptown opera houses and homes for the sick or whatever. Though I didn't recognize that name when those blue bloods were cursing it last night, so maybe that propaganda's working. Doesn't matter how generous they are at galas, they're still the richest and most powerful criminal organization in the city. Rich and powerful, why bother with the criminal qualifier? Sorry, might I ask about the nature of this engagement? The situation's developing, Mr. Diamani. We appreciate your patience. That's not what you want to hear. So I gathered. Your presence has been requested at the family estate, ma'am. For business, or the Ikariya are always business. Oh wait, no, he said that. The Ikariya are always business. Shall we get your coat? Such gentlemen. I knew those suits weren't just for show. I can see myself out just fine, though. Adonai, what's going on? Are you going somewhere? That's why they pay me the big bucks. These men are very athletic. Perhaps I should come with you. If they want to arm wrestle, you'll be the first to know. Call me when you get there, yeah? If I'm actually in danger, I won't be conscious when I arrive, but I appreciate the thought. Oh boy. Boss? Oh, boss? Who are those men really? New clients for Morgan, really. Hopefully. Hopefully? Yeah, hopefully. Because if House Ikariya puts her on retainer, she'll be able to buy you as much wine as you like. But what do you mean by house? Alright, pay attention. If I'm gonna lecture, might as well try to teach. Start with ice. You want a lot of it, but low surface area, so never use crushed, okay? It starts to melt into the liquor, waters the whole thing down. Understood. 1.5 ounces of vodka. And what do we look for in a good vodka? Smoothness. Correct. That's the mark of quality, making the bitter go down easy. So, the nobility. You know what that is? Historically, the ruling class, as enforced through economic or military might and maintained by familial relations. Juice of a full lime. Look for a little spring and a consistent color across the skin. Nobility, old money, is another word for it. And the older it is, the slower it moves. Only so much wealth you could accrue in one lifetime, collecting from serfs and selling horses. But the Industrial Revolution comes along, shows the world what real wealth acquisition looks like. Then you get new money, which always dwarfs old money. Inflation and split inheritances shave away at any generational wealth that's liquid. Now, new money and old money, they don't like each other. Doesn't new money eventually become old money? If the old money can help it, no one ever becomes old money. Triple sec, 1 ounce. My family was new money. Tried to make the transition. Join the right clubs, shake the right hands, make the right marriages. Laugh at the bad jokes. Bad jokes can be entertaining in their own right. Not the kind of bad I'm talking about. I don't understand. That's all right. You shouldn't need to know. But what do you mean your family was new money? Times changed. About 30 years ago, recession, depression, civil unrest, political upheaval. Most people, they were so scared you could barely think about tomorrow, let alone next year. But a decent man's chaos is a cruel man's investment opportunity. So while everyone else was in panic, selling off everything they could buy, food and water, So while everyone else was panic selling off everything they could to buy food and water, a certain type of personality was buying for pennies on the dollar, as it were. Give me a peel for that lime. As shallow as possible. Any white you see is just bitter. 1 ounce of gin. They were rough years, but they passed. And at the end of it all, some were left standing with a lot more than they came in with. New money? A new kind of new money. The new nobility. Neobility, if you're writing a think piece. Neobility. Slang term for nouveau riche. Okay. Name carries negative connotations and meant to criticize the way said families supposedly style themselves as nobility or even as a second estate of administrators. Okay, so it's just a negative status. Unabashed oligarchs and devourer barons. When the governments of the New World tried to reprivatize the industries they had taken over with emergency powers, they were there to snatch them. And they started at the bottom. Steel, fuel, grain, machine parts, medicine. Here enters House Ikariya. But that's how they exited. They went to the Red Decade as the Ikariya cartel, drug smugglers and extortionists, thieves and murderers. They came out as one of the richest, most respectable names in the country. Not that they actually stopped doing any of that thieving and murdering, mind you. Put the top on tight, then shake. So they are a crime family, like a mob. This is the 21st century, kid. It's muddier than that. House Ikariya isn't literally one family, not even one race or creed. They're simply the strongest criminal organization in the city, on paper. But not in practice. Practice is what they're lacking. Haven't had to get their hands dirty, haven't had to maintain a presence in the lower ward in years. Make their profits from investments, blackmail, and more than a little insider trading. So they're criminal, yes, but their muscles atrophied. Time for a taste test. Ugh, that's not right at all. What the hell did I forget? Boss? There must have been other criminal organizations 30 years ago. Others poised to take advantage of the changing times. Yeah. So what did the Ikariya do to set themselves apart from the rest back then? Ah, stupid. Most important ingredient. A drop of grenadine. There we go. Some sweetness. The Lady Maria. It's beautiful. This is nothing. We use a frosted glass if this was for a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. If you do end up helping Red work with the Ikariya, don't let the warmth of their golden furnishings confuse you. All that glitters is cold. Not wrong. Not wrong. Sometimes people like to show a lot of glamour to hide a lot of filth. It was quite an uneventful drive in the back of the limousine. The privacy, at least, was nice. But with Abbott and Costello riding in the front, I had no way of getting information out of them, not even passively. So instead I spent the whole ride trying to play out all the different ways that this could go. I haven't liked any of them so far. I suppose I should have felt relief or gratitude when we pulled up outside of an imposing skyscraper instead of an alley. I suppose it's a good sign that no one's put a bag over my head or stuck a needle in my neck. But I don't feel like celebrating. For all I know, they really don't have a clue about what I did in the lower wards last night. But for some reason, they've placed their attention on me. That's the problem. And there's little I hate more than unwanted advances. I'm also not a fan of being made to wait. Why am I just sitting out here? In here? We were too late. Only by a few men. He filled the time slot. Already. And we've got no chance of... Maybe. If his other meeting went well. Are we on hold, gentlemen? In the world's most expensive waiting room. Quiet. Take that he's glaring at me behind those lenses, but I'm more interested in the new sweat glistening on his forehead. Somehow, of the three of us, I'm the most relaxed. Yeah, this is becoming embarrassing. Can I at least take in the view while we're here? You can take photos if you like, so as long as you're quiet. Really? No, your phone won't work in here. Go figure. Taking in the sights. Ooh, a data pad. Go fish. Alright, well, let's look at that data pad. Maybe I'll get some chips out of this one. Is it trying too hard to look unconcerned if I sit down and start reading the news? Maybe. But my boredom outweighs my apprehension at the moment. Not my fault that they failed to be sufficiently intimidating. PSS proposition cities ahead of next month's convention. Next month, the city will play host to one of the most competitive political conventions in recent memory, with Senator Mathings expected to face significant opposition from party outliers for a securing nomination. But while the broader nation eagerly anticipates the oncoming political circus, city officials are already under fire for a supposed lack of sufficient convention security. The city has already approved a record of high monthly budget for the police department, including fully unrestricted overtime for officers of all ranks. But a coalition of private security services, including White Adder, Fang, and Demico, has released a press statement urging City Council to consider contracting their services ahead of the convention. Heartbreak was bad enough. Now we're hearing that cops are dying in the lower wards. When are city officials going to say, "Enough is enough," said Demico head and press relations Arthur Gall. We have the utmost respect for all first responders. None of us are blaming the hardworking police for these failures. How could they succeed when political insiders insist that they try to apprehend criminals with one hand tied behind their back? Our contracted forces have world-class training in crowd pacification, preemptive de-escalation, and enhanced interrogation tactics. And any of the subhuman scum who empathize with the anarchists won't dare to leave their mothers' basements once we get our boots on the ground. That's a guarantee. City Council declined to comment when we reached out to them to ask whether they would be issuing a request for proposals on such services. The total city population is expected to swell next month as the national political spotlight draws lobbyists, delegates, political action committees, and voters in ahead of the 2-week-long process. Most of the community members we spoke to expressed optimism about the increase in economic activity and tourism to the convention is expected to bring. But some, who refused to give us their permission to publish their identifying info, rudely and loudly voiced their criticism. 2 weeks for a convention when the nominee was decided 2 years ago? It's a joke, and we're the punchline. Footing the bill to pay cops to stand around outside parties full of thousands of do-nothing staffers and campaign managers. This article is presented to you advertiser-free, blah blah blah, including Daniel Mass of the Daniel Mass Foundation, Rebecca E. Jones of the Rebecca E. Jones Foundation, Jessica and Ronald McGuile of the McGuile Foundation and the Arts and Sciences, the Rockford Fund, the Rockford Fund for Public Broadcasting and readers like you. Thank you. Rockford. Interesting. Yes, that's true. In the last episode, she implied that she lived in a big place and was lonely. Let me see. Record high monthly budget, police department, private security, include White Adder. Our contracted forces are world class. City Council decides to comment. Okay, interesting. So they're worried about security. I suppose it's less offensive than a bare advertisement or paywall, but why list your donors mid-article? All of it does is make my eyes glaze over. Whatever, I got the important part. The city's hosting that convention next month, putting pressure on the council to vote on hiring mercenaries. Whether or not to bring in private security contractors on top of the massive policing budget makes a little difference to me. Cops and mercs have different quirks, but they all share the same blind spots. I'll be just fine. How the average law-abiding citizen will put up with them clogging the streets for 2 weeks, though. Not like they'll be the least popular political decision made next month. Everyone knows Mathings will be the candidate. That was decided years ago. The contested convention will just be him finding a balance between how much public opposition he's willing to stomach against how many favors he feels like giving out. This country's already a circus without any bread. You'd think the least they could do is make the performances entertaining. But was that in the article about cops dying in the lower wards anyways? What was that article? Pretty heavy-handed to just make up that kind of thing, even when pearl clutching and pitching yourself at the same time. Honestly, yeah. Very strange. Ooh. The illusion isn't unimpressive, I guess. Windows into the heavens, sparkling like raindrops across a puddle. It might even be appealing if it wasn't trying to be something it's not. You look up and see hexagons above you in the lower wards too. Rich or poor, people just can't imagine themselves under an open sky anymore. Not even in their wildest dreams. It's cool though. Gotta give it to him. If I weren't hyper aware of the flickering sky hanging over my head, this can make for a lovely watering hole. Those probably aren't even real fish down there. Literal children are capable of keeping goldfish alive, so of course the 0.1%ers can't manage it. Maybe they'd spin it when their pallid bodies float to the top because of some idiot raised the water temperature 2 degrees. They'd certainly be easy to scoop out. If you're an impatient, undignified idiot, you could argue that it's an efficient way to fish. It is a terrible way to fish, actually. Well, looked around at everything they've caught with my eye, and now I'm all out of ideas. Everything except... maybe they don't know we're here. I'm gonna try knocking. What are you? Hey! Before I get the chance, creaking oak draws my attention to an alternate entrance on the other side of the water. Oh. A cool dude. Hello. Stop staring and get a move on. If that's the kind of man walking out of this place, who's waiting for me inside? I'm curious. 4:09 p.m., August 14th. Ikariya Tower, residential floors. Grand Hall. All right. Pomp and circumstance, ceremony and ritual. For some reason, I thought that the Mafia, of all people, would be a little more efficient in their execution. A little more honest about what they are. Evidently not. Artifice with every glance, costumes and makeup abound. Is this disappointment? That even here, in the supposed bowels of the underworld, there is no escaping the etiquette of it all. She's the one. Doesn't look like much. Peons. Suddenly, their posture stiffens even further. A true feat. Their necks suddenly turn to a pair of doors in the back, each of them attuned to some signal I'm not receiving. Be still, the young master returns. Young master. Nice forehead. Oh, it's a child. You're late. Hold on. Wait. Young master, sir, Everyone slow down. We came as soon as we found her, sir. Traffic was. Some sassy lost child? Silence. Yes, sir. What time were you told to return by? 4 o'clock, sir. And what time is it now? Permission to check my phone? You're late. You're tasked with finding one woman and bringing her here in a timely manner. Sir, You'll speak when I tell you to, and not one word further, or else I'll have your teeth removed. By the way of curbside. Is this a prank? Am I being recorded? He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. So says Sun Tzu. I hate these types of people. Please let this be a prank. And I don't think you can fathom the cost of your tardiness has incurred. If it leads up to my execution, some kind of kid reading The Art of War, I might adjust. What is the #1 rule in this family? Timeliness, sir. When money gets wasted, it can be replaced. But when time goes on one way, it's always running out. The loss is permanent. Every second wasted is a scar on this house's face. Timeliness is next to godliness. This is wrong, but sure. So I say. Oh, God. So if you two ever waste my time, the house's time again, expect to be dragged through hell. I'm already there. Now both of you get out. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Useless. You, red woman, you're being addressed. Forget pride. I just want this over with as fast as possible. You're the lawyer, correct? You may answer. As fast as possible. I am a lawyer. Morgan, criminal defense. Mr. How should I address you? As all outsiders do, by my name, Makoto, of House Ikariya. You, Morgan Criminal Defense, have great honor of being summoned before me. Don't bother bowing. Once you start, you'll end up prostrated all day, and we have important work to do. Right. Out of abundance of respect for your time, Makoto, I should let you know that I still have no idea what I'm doing here. Oh, I'll have them kneel on a bed of nails later, or some such thing. Miss Defends. Mrs.? Oh, Mrs. Defense, really. The house has need of your legal services. Oh. Would you give me a moment to clear my throat? I need to switch gears. Un instant. Right then. You want to hire me? One of our own is being slandered by multiple homicide charges. You will defend him. You want to hire me, and I'm flattered, Makoto, but did you pull my name out of a hat? Pick a random page in the phone book? I have many books on my phone, libraries full of esoteric knowledge spread across countless tomes. You will have to be more specific. Sorry, I misspoke. What I mean is, this is House Ikariya. You must keep a small army of lawyers on retainer. Surely, any one of them would be happy to help you. True, we have lawyers. Competent ones, expensive ones, and some who are both. But the best of them are all preoccupied. That's it, they're just preoccupied. Preoccupied means busy. Thanks. But I'm still not sure how my name, specifically, was. Do you have a customer survey you want filled out, Mrs. Defends? You were recommended. What does it matter how it came about? Normally, it wouldn't matter. But when the client I'm recommended to is one of the richest, most well-connected families in the country, it gives me pause. I don't have any friends in high places. Not anymore. That makes it hard to see this as a favor. Not when my employer doesn't even know my goddamn name. Of course, my apologies. No doubt you have other questions. Very well, I permit you to ask them. Such a gentleman. All right. You know what? Let's end it here and get these answers later. House Ikariya has an interesting setup going on so far. So, I think it'll be worth seeing why we were called and who actually recommended us. And I guess we might be defending somebody that we might have accidentally set up. We didn't accidentally do that. We did that on purpose. Should be interesting. Anyways, guess I'll see you guys in the next part of the Devil. Ciao.